minutes. So I want to basically spend as little time as you can on this, but get your initial thoughts on what you think the next step would be, and then go into the lead generation stuff.
Cool. Where is the website cost per? Oh, here it is. Gotcha.
Yeah, and those are the ad sets you can see with.
Oh, I see it. Okay, got it.
I think they were all like 1.5 to 3, some to 3-ish, but they've all definitely gone down a bit. But I think one of them is still doing decent.
Yeah. So let's see here. Everything's heading in the right direction. I mean, look at this. So we look at, let's just look at these 3 days. You're at a 1. We then take the next set of days, 1.47. Then take the next set of days, 2.07. If you don't touch this and just let it run from here on out, it's just going to keep growing.
Really? That's it. It's just learning, so it's getting better on its own?
Yeah. At this point, you don't want to make any changes. No changing anything, no editing, no cutting. Just at this point, all changes have been made that are necessary. The algorithm will do the rest of the job for you.
What are your thoughts?
You'll get we'll see how far this goes. At any given point, I'll still hit a peak and it'll just be bouncing between, say, a 2 and a 4 on any given day, right? But I mean, as long as it's profitable, just let it keep going. And then all you do from there on out is just slowly start scaling it up.
Okay, that was one of my questions. Scaling. When do you do it and how do you do it?
So there's 2 things you can do here. Let this continue where it's on because it's on the right track. I mean, it's heading in the right direction. It's going up every single day. So that's good. And if you look at today, we're at 5.65. So, I mean, like you saw where you came from. Remember? 3, here you're at a 1.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're at a 1.47. Now 2, and then 5.65.
Okay, so my other question is this. I just created that expansion one just based off of what you told me, because I thought it was dying. So and so I'm like, I'm going to try to make an expansion one. Like you said, I made that yesterday, and that's the one that's already at the 3. That has by far the best return right now, but it's only one purchase.
Yeah.
But is it too early to do the expansion approach? I just took the best performing ad set. And but I didn't put all of them in there. I forgot about that part. I just took the best performing one and added expansion.
No, you did everything right. Everything's heading in the right direction here.
Okay, so you just
now,
let it
to expand. There's 2 options. One option is expanding into lookalikes in a different campaign, and then expanding into interest in another campaign. I would just
into other interests.
Yeah, I would just title this proven, and then just don't touch this campaign again. Don't do anything with it. Even if the results die, leave them alone. They'll come back.
Okay.
It's pivotal that nothing happens to this campaign moving forward.
So
like
don't
lock it in a box. Don't do a thing.
Don't even. Oh, so does that mess with anything to change the campaign name?
No, that doesn't.
Doesn't put it into learning or anything, huh?
No.
Okay.
Now you can.
So what about the budget?
Interest.
You wouldn't change the budget on that?
No, leave it alone until it hits a point of peaking. You got to let it peak out.
And then you would increase it?
Yeah, because like it's on a trajectory path that's going up and it's getting better results every day. What if this thing just keeps going and going and going and going until it's like getting $1 purchase at the same budget? It's scaling on its own. It's getting you more purchases every day without spending any more money. It's learning. Let it get to its most efficient point on its own, right? You don't scale something up in the middle of the midst of it's trying to optimize itself. Don't skip that part. Let it get to the point to where the results taper. I'd say like 7 more days. See what happens. Wait until all these are stuck in learning limited. Right? Let all of them get to this learning limited stage.
Oh, that's a good thing?
No, it just means that you've hit a point of where it can't optimize any further.
Oh, gotcha. And so learning limited is in between learning and what would the next stage be after that?
Learning is beginning, learning limited's in the middle. The one after that is just delivering. It's like active. It just means that it's exited learning.
Okay.
You won't hit that third one unless you're getting 50 purchases a week, and I don't think you will be right now. So
Okay. You
let
said
it
it's
run for the next
active
7 days. Let it
or
run for the next
delivering.
7
Okay.
days. Yeah.
Yep.
Then see until your return on ad spend is like hovering at a 3. It'll be like a 2 one day, it might be a 14 one day, it'll be all over the place every day because it's still in learning. And then once it hits a point of learning limited, then see after that point what's happening to the results. And like, what is the ROAS at? Is it staying above a 2? Is it staying above a 3 over the last few days? Where's it at? If it's going down like 3 days in a row, that's fine. Just wait until it's gotta balance out somewhere. Campaigns just don't suddenly die out of nowhere. So it's going to hit a peak and it's going to hit a bottom point, and you just got to find out what that average is going to be. Then you can feel comfortable with moving budgets because it's
Because you'll know how it's
optimized. The
gonna
algorithm's
react
like, yeah,
or
because
how it's
it's
gonna
done
happen.
its work. It's, it's pretty much figured out that this is what it's going to be able to maintain. It's
So
going to
it
be
should be like
inconsistent, but it's
a
going to be
week.
inconsistent within a certain range.
Gotcha. So sorry for the background noise, man. So it should be consistent for ballpark wise a week of staying in a range.
It'll be inconsistent always in learning limited, but it's going to be inconsistent in the terms of bouncing between, say, a 2 and a 4 or a 3 and a 5. That's a huge range, but it's, still positive, which isn't, a huge issue.
Okay, I'm taking notes on all this. Basically consistently bounces between positive ROAs, right?
Yeah, I
ROAS,
mean,
ROAS.
you don't have to really figure out what those high and lows are. The only thing that matters is just looking at your last 7-day average, pretty much, and just seeing what that is moving forward from. After these next 7 days, look at the last 7 and then let it go and even further after that.
Okay, I was looking at the 7-day average, and then you're looking at 2-day groupings at a time to see how it's changing, huh? Just like to see the pattern.
Yeah, exactly. Just to see what's going on. Because you thought it was dying and I just showed you it was literally
Yeah,
just
for
on a
sure.
bull run.
Okay, look at 2-day groupings at a time to see. Okay, and then so once I find it seems like it's tapering and staying at a certain range for a week at a time.
Mm-hmm.
Then what do you suggest as far as would I just change the budget of that same campaign, or would I leave that one and create another one that's a duplicate, or where do I go from there?
Yeah, there's 2 options here. One is if they're all working, you could duplicate, put in another campaign and scale it up to like 200 daily.
Yep.
And then you would just turn off this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and then let that run. The other option is taking these, throwing into another campaign all under one ad set, where it's just one ad set at 200. Okay.
So taking all these same interests but putting them in one campaign.
One ad set
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
and doing it, because then the algorithm can optimize a little faster that way as well. Third option is increasing this by 20% daily, by 20% every 7 days.
Okay.
It's a
Oh,
slower
every
scaling
7 days, huh?
strategy, but it allows you to never have to worry about resetting anything.
Okay, by 20% every 7 days.
Yep. And the reason you do
You still
7
think
is
I'm a few
because you
weeks
got
out
to,
from that, or 2 weeks at least?
well, yeah, you got to at least go through getting these, letting it taper off.
And hit learning limited, huh?
Uh-huh. And your inspect tool, that's all that's going to really, you just got to start looking at this over your next every day. Just go ahead and pop in here and see what's going on.
Where
If
did you
you
find that?
inspect right here,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
and if like, let's just do last 7 plus today. You can just look at what's going on, because look, you made an edit here So you have purchases on every day, which is good. You're at least
Oh, so you
getting,
can look at the scale
I mean, look
for
at that.
cost per
That's,
purchase.
yeah, that's like a really good average. I mean, your range is very, very small here. But the thing you got to monitor is like this thing here. So like, even though it's consistently doing well, like the reason we want to give it another 7 days before you scale is because like this thing could end up, you know, dropping off a cliff. Because look at your
So you're
first time
saying the
impression ratio.
purchases or
It's
the
going
cost per purchase could go down?
either or. So like, look, first time impression ratio is decreasing.
What does
So
that
just
mean
see,
exactly?
it means that you're reaching less new people every day
Gotcha.
because the algorithm's just optimizing to show it to similar people. So you just want to make sure that
Is that good or bad?
depends on how the results are. And right now your results are fine. But over time, it can turn into a bad thing. So that's why you leave it here until that point.
And do you have any suggestions on which one of those scaling approaches, or do you have a preference between them personally?
It really depends on how the data is looking. I mean, I'll make the call on one of those three, depending on what it looks like.
Can you do all three of them, or is that just overlapping too much?
Yeah, no, you'd shoot all of them. You'd shoot yourself in the foot on all those. Yeah,
Okay.
no, you don't want to do that.
And so
If you're
you
eager
duplicated,
to continue expanding, between now and this next 7 to 14 days, if you want to start scaling, by any means, just test other audiences. That's the best way to increase your spend, and also gives you more opportunities to find ads that are working.
okay, so just do interest based because I don't have enough info for lookalike stuff now.
Yeah, stick to interest until you get the audience data you need.
Okay, I was selling booty bands, and so I have probably 100 purchases in total. So I could probably make it look like off of purchasers, but it was a different product, similar field, but
No.
I don't know if that would be worth doing or not.
Don't do it. Just stick to the
Okay.
interest for now. Get the data you need.
Okay, so find more winning ads basically, huh? If I want to scale now.
The more winning audiences.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. And would you mainly test with because it's mainly one ad that seems to be performing the best out of all
No,
these?
use all of them. Put all of them in there.
Just
The ones that you have active in each of these, do those.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do the same thing. Just let them run for a few days at $20 a day or whatever, and just kill the ones that aren't performing.
Well, if you only have 3 ads, you don't have to worry too much about that. The system will essentially start self-optimizing for you.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. I think that answered all my questions. Is there anything I know I only have 10 minutes left. Is there anything I'm missing? I know it's not in everything in a nutshell, but as far as information I need to know now.
Yeah, I mean, things are looking great, so you're good to go here.
Okay, cool. All right, so I guess let's go into my wedding business. This is the lead generation one. So I'll show you. I've probably spent $5,000 worth of between this and another audience, and so I'm losing hope in lead generation ads, but I'm probably just doing them wrong. So I definitely would love your thoughts on them. So right now I'm just doing a traffic ad to all engaged couples in California because that's where my business is, and then I'm doing a retargeting ad as well. So those are my main 2 things. And then it's like, I think I'm running like 4 or 5 different retargeting ads in there, just so it's because it's not tons of people. So if it's the same couple hundred people a month coming to our website, I'm trying to change it up to where they're seeing different ads pop on their feed. Let me see if I can show you the video real quick. Oh, you're already ahead of it. Yeah, so that's basically, you're already on our website. Is that what that sound was?
I see. Okay, so what exactly is the issue?
I'm not getting any leads. That is the issue.
Okay.
I mean, or like on retargeting, I'll get leads at like $4 or $5 a piece, which isn't bad. I mean, but
Yeah, but I
But
mean, are people just? I mean, is it
they're
directly
just filling it
related
out.
to what's going on with everything right now? I know coronavirus
No.
is gone for a lot of areas and it's decreasing, but it's also increasing in a lot of
Uh,
states.
yeah, it has nothing to do with coronavirus. I'm not targeting that at all. Um, yeah, it's
What do you mean? I mean, for planning a wedding, you don't think that people are not postponing those?
yes, they are, but California just opened back up, so people are also. I mean, we started weddings about a week ago, so we
So
just
you
do
are
the.
attending weddings. People are doing
Yeah,
them.
we are as of a week ago. Yes,
Gotcha.
yes, we have them basically every weekend from here on out for the most part. But I have I
Well,
could do 5 to 10 weddings at a time with my staff, so I'm trying to basically go from 1 or 2 weddings at a time to up to maxing out my staff. So
yeah, I mean, like this just goes back to what we were talking about earlier with your other account where you got to switch to the right conversion. So this would need to be the leads. This would you need to test those other ad variations and test more audiences. I mean, there's only one of essentially
I mean, what other
is the
audiences would
wrong
you go after
conversion.
other than in? Yeah, I've tried the conversions. I spent probably $500 on just conversion to lead ads. But I mean, I was going after
How
just
many
engage,
ads?
like 8 or 9 of them. Yeah, and I went after engaged couples, and then I did different combinations in California because that's the only place where our business is. And then I even tried niching it down to just like the square, like 60 miles that we're mainly in. And then I tried different entrances along with engaged couples. I mean, but it narrows it down real quick. I mean, engaged is only 240,000 people in California. It's not that much. Um, and that's with no interest. So you're talking, if you narrow down 50,000 people that you're just targeting repeatedly.
Yeah, so it comes down to your messaging. You just got to have really good different variations of ad copy messaging that's going to reach the right person, and you got to say the right things to get them to move forward. So I mean, that's a strategy in itself that we'd have to look at and really understanding. Well,
Okay, so you
cool.
think that's the main thing is the messaging as far as why it wasn't working with conversions,
Yep,
lead conversions.
exactly.
And so would you run anything other than lead conversions?
uh no, not at all.
Okay.
You could do lead forms, which is essentially lead conversions. It's just on Facebook.
Yeah, I've gotten those, and I've gotten like 15, 20 a day, and literally not a single one of them responds. I mean, maybe like 1 out of 20 or 1 out of 50.
Yeah,
It's
there's a
like
lot of strategies we could approach here. I mean, that we could end up testing. It would just require some.
take a
We'd
lot
have
of
to.
testing, brother.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to cover a lot of stuff to go over this one. This isn't a short
Um,
fix. But yeah, that other ad account's looking good.